March is Women's History Month, but for one local cafe, they celebrate it every month. Michael Schwartz is at 1872 Cafe with this morning's story. Got a nice warm cup of coffee there, Michael.
Hey, good morning, Alexis. I'm actually drinking the Betty White, an 1872 cafe, which has been open now for a few years here on Main Street, honors women all year long in this cozy environment, from local icons like Abby Wambach to Oprah to Maya Angelou to so many other women this Women's History Month, but all year long, even with their sandwiches. Paul, who is the owner here at 1872 Cafe. Paul, this is the
Freddie D.
Freddie D, just to honor Freddie D.
Douglas, correct.
But this
is a Susan B. Anthony steak sandwich.
The Susan B. Anthony steak sandwich, of course, a big year for Susan B. Anthony, who would have been 201 years old. But then there's specialty items. I mentioned I'm drinking the Betty White, but then you have that famous jazz singer, the Lady of Jazz, Ella Fitzgerald, Eleanor Roosevelt, and so many more. We're honoring women this morning. Cheers to them. We'll see you soon. By the way, is Matt Malloy watching this?
I'm sure he is. He's from home, but I took note of that with the Betty White.
Yeah, okay, good.
All right, have a good time. What a great place to check out. Thank you, Michael. The month of March, not just known for college hoops, but Women's History Month. And we're going to go to one local cafe that celebrates it every month. Michael Schwartz highlighting what they're doing there and the menu that highlights many of these women.
Yeah, absolutely. From Ella Fitzgerald to Betty White to, of course, one of Rochester's most iconic people ever, and of course, iconic woman, Susan B. Anthony. 201 years now of that she would have turned 101 years of the 19th Amendment. 1872 Cafe, actually the location significant because where she voted, the ballot box here on Main Street, just outside of here. I'm with Paul, who is the owner of 1872 Cafe. All right, we have these amazing menu items. Let's go through real quick. It's
our Susan B. Anthony namesake signature steak sandwich. We also have a vegetarian, all vegetable Freddie D breakfast sandwich.
Because you have to honor Freddie D.
Of course,
if
being
you're
from Rochester, right.
Honoring so many icons here in Rochester. 1872 Cafe, the name is significant too.
The significance of the name is the year that Susan B. Anthony and some other trailblazing women actually voted illegally and formed the suffrage movement to spur the 1920 changes throughout the country. So very significant times, the name and the foundation. We see it every morning when we look outside and see the box. So very big for everybody, and the house being right up the road, it's a great time.
It's so cool to stop and think, here we are in Rochester, and this is where so much history happened. This is where Susan B. Anthony did so much, and she passed away, unfortunately, 100 years ago, but she lived definitely a impactful life. What's also really cool is the wall, through those pillars that you could see, the names of so many women, of course, local Abby Wambach. We have Susan B. Anthony at the bottom in big letters, Oprah Winfrey, Rachel Zimmerman, so many iconic women. Paul, what's the best part about all of this, honoring women, not just in this Women's History Month, but so many throughout the year?
Well, it's a celebration of the forward moving from 1872 and 1920, when all these movements started, and how some of these women have carried on going forward today. You know, and it's great. We have people all the time coming in for selfies, and it's really a good feeling to see people come in and say, wow, you know, I grew up here and I never realized what was all around, and thinking about, you know, everything that these women have done. So it's a forward-moving celebration.
So cool. Well, we're going to get jazzy a little bit with Ella Fitzgerald, some of that drink coming up, Eleanor Roosevelt, Betty White. We'll show you how to make that. We're going to the golden girl age, but you know what, Alexis and Chris, I think if Betty White was actually here, she may add something to that white mocha drink, and I think you know what I mean by that. We'll see you soon.
Oh, the food looks good there. We're going to have to get lunch there or something.
Yeah, if you don't mind bringing back a slice of pizza or 7, that would be great, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everything on that plate. Thank you. Well, March is Women's History Month, but for Rochester Cafe, they celebrate women all year long. And that's where Michael Schwartz is live this morning from 1872 Cafe on West Main Street. Hey, Michael.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Guys, I was touching up Susan B. Anthony's name on the wall of iconic women, but I was also going to add Alexis Arnold and Chris Betts to that, but once I get paint on this paintbrush. 1872 Cafe. 1872 was the year that Susan B. Anthony voted illegally. Right outside here on Main Street of the cafe is the ballot box, a historical ballot box where she cast her vote. And you can see on their specialty menu, they have iconic women figures that they honor all year. Eleanor Roosevelt, the Lady of Jazz, Ella Fitzgerald, Maya Rudolph, the barista favorite that you'll never know what that is depending on the day. And I skipped over Betty White because, yeah, we are going to the golden age right now with Paul, who is the owner here. Paul, you are making the Betty White right now. Bring me through the process.
So it's 2 shots of espresso with your choice of milk, which today we have whole milk in there for you. It's a little bit of vanilla flavoring, and then we're going to put it all together with the vanilla flavored milk going right over the espresso, and we'll top it off with some white chocolate and some whipped cream.
You're making these incredible drinks. You own this cafe with your wife. You've owned it for about 2.5 years, but this actually started as a church cafe.
Correct. It was actually Spiritus Christi and the team there originated and started, designed the cafe, and they're still very good customers of ours and very good supporters of ours as well.
Pastor Meyer Brown obviously was a big part, but they also have some delicious menu items. This right here is actually the Susan B. Anthony sandwich, the Susie B. breakfast sandwich, and they also have some other local figures that they honor. That includes Freddie D, because you have to honor Freddie D if you're a Rochester cafe honoring historical figures. Of course, they honor women all year round. That white mocha on top, and there is your Betty White. Do you think she would like this? Maybe add a little, she may add a little bourbon, a little Bailey's.
I think she would be proud of that, but she would want to make her own enhancement.
I agree. Cheers to Betty White. Cheers to all the women on this Women's History Month. Do we have any sneak peeks of some other women that may be honored on the menu in the coming weeks, months? I'm getting real, like, exclusive here.
Well, not really. I mean, we do have some that do come in and admire the wall, and it's very popular, but none that I can think of at this time.
All right, well, I got to get this to Spencerport soon, so Matt Malloy could add this to his collection of Golden Girls memorabilia. We're honoring historical figures more coming up on 1872 Cafe on Good Day Rochester.
Yes.
Say, take the mask off.
How do you drink this?
How do you drink it?
How do you drink this?
Without the mask on. That's step one.
Get a little mustache. It's okay. It's adorable.
Just go for it.
Go for it. All right. Thanks, Michael. Still ahead at 7:50, why some local schools are having trouble moving forward with their reopening plans and growing frustration that we're hearing from parents.
At 8:10, nutritionist Pat Baird is here with a look at some new dietary guidelines and the changes recommended for the youngest Americans.
Then at 8:45, the return of Soul Plates with Jerry Manley. He is back, and this morning he's making avocado and chocolate mousse.
March is Women's History Month, but for one Rochester cafe, they celebrate women all year long. Michael Schwartz joins us live from Cafe 1872 on West Main Street. I've got a suggestion for them, and I know they're paying tribute to local women who have done amazing things, but I also noticed, they have Maya Rudolph up there. They have some other named Betty White. Add Shaka Khan.
Norma Holland.
Norma Holland.
No, Shaka Khan.
Yes, I'm thinking I'm every woman. Celebrating women.
I'm everyone.
Yes, Michael, get it.
I like that. Alexis. Hey, Alexis, Paul's a big fan. Watches Good Day Rochester. So
hey, Paul.
Thank you for providing the news. Alexis says, hey, how about a Shaka Khan drink?
We can do that. We just have to come up with what maybe flavor she would like, and we'll definitely develop something in her honor.
She's definitely, I'm every woman. I mean, you can make the... We're going to think. There's so many
we can call
creative...
It the Every Woman.
We can call it the Every Woman, Alexis.
Yeah, absolutely. Alexis, what would you like to see in there for flavors?
Alexis, if you had to make a Shaka Khan coffee, what do you think would go in it? I mean, spicy, do we think some cinnamon?
Something bold. bold and
Something bold.
We're going to embrace and embody all women have to offer, right? So something bold, a little spicy.
I love it. Love it. I like that. Women's History Month. Well, right now we're getting jazzy with Ella Fitzgerald, the incredible musician born in 1917. I actually read that even though it took a lot of courage for her to get up in front of an audience, she was actually a very shy person off the stage. Ella Fitzgerald, what's in here?
Ella Fitzgerald gets 2 shots of espresso and steamed milk, which contains praline and ginger flavors.
So you flavor the milk with those ingredients.
Correct. And then they get steamed, and then they put in there. So it's your choice of milk. Today we're using a 2%, and the espresso goes in the bottom, and then the steamed milk goes right on top.
That frothy magic.
You can add whipped cream if you like, but most of the drinks we leave it as an option. So
I'm gonna try the Ella Fitzgerald. I heard you can really play an instrument well after. Wow, that is smooth. All your flavors, from Betty White to Ella Fitzgerald, they're very smooth. And it's not too overpowering, it's not too sweet. It's just a nice way to wake up in the morning, especially with the food that you offer too. What goes into running 1872 Cafe, paying tribute to these women, but also providing great food?
obviously we wanted to make as if Susan B. Anthony were peeking through the window to make her proud. So healthy, we don't fry anything. Everything is homemade that we do here. It's made to order, so there's nothing frozen, prepped that goes into a microwave. We don't use that as part of our cooking. So our dough is locally made for us every day, and we press it out when it's made to order. So we use turkey bacon instead of pork, so a little bit lighter for our customers that do not want pork. So we have bacon as being turkey bacon. We use fresh vegetables from either the public market or local sources. So really, we have options for everybody. So we have a gluten-free and vegan option in our cookies and some of our pastries for those customers that have that allergy or that restriction. So
we got to get Dan Schrack over here for those. Something that makes you guys unique is you use an 1872 sauce. Explain that sauce that's on here. It's almost like a ranch.
So it's a ranch base, and then we add a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of crushed red pepper. We mix it, we blend it, and then it goes on all of our sandwiches. So very nice, very healthy, very simple.
Who's calling? It's 7:30 in the morning. May's got the phone. That's Paul's wife. They run this together. Hey, we're gonna answer the phone and answer your call, Alexis, to get Shaka Khan in the coffee. Shaka coffee.
Khan.
Something, you know, Shaka Khan.
Shaka
Yeah.
Khan. Michael, I feel for you.
Can we?
It's another song. Anybody get
I
that?
was like, can we have him sing that too? I don't know if he caught that one.
That's one of my favorites.
It's a
Look
good
at
one.
him drinking that Ella Fitzgerald now. It goes down smooth.
Yeah.
Just like jazz.
I love it. All right. I'm going to go pop over there, I think, after the show's over. Today's going to be a warm day, so you may want an iced coffee. For March, we're going to find out how long the mild air will stick around. Marty's got your full forecast coming up next.
March is Women's History Month, but for one Rochester cafe, they celebrate women all year long, as they should. Michael Schwartz joins us live from 1872 Cafe on West Main Street. Good morning.
As you should. Celebrating women all year. Celebrating you, Chris. Celebrating you, Alexis. And you at home. Celebrating women. That's what 1872 Cafe is about. 1872, the year that Susan B. Anthony voted illegally. But now, that should have never been the case, because women should always have been given the right to vote. We're going to check that out in a minute, a historical reason that this cafe exists in this location. I'm with Paul, the owner. Let's get some giggles in, shall we? Maya Rudolph. What do we got in the Maya Rudolph?
Funny comedian. She has a drink that we've made in her honor. It's actually a double shot of espresso at the bottom. And then she has hazelnut, but we first glaze the cup with a little bit of fun chocolate.
Fun chocolate.
Some chocolate around the inside of the cup, so you get chocolate all the way through, and then we top it off with some hazelnut steamed milk. So I heard she likes it, so.
Okay, Maya, if you are watching this, or going to watch this later on, Let us know if this is your drink, if we need to make any modifications. And come down to 1872 Cafe to Rochester for the Maya Rudolph drink. Heard it gets us feeling good in the morning. Gets us feeling good. Hey, this location is significant. Why don't we go outside for a minute, because as we drink our coffee, I want to show you something really cool. We're going to step outside. It's a nice day. After you, Paul. Because here on Main Street, the reason why 1872 Cafe is here is because there's a very famous ballot box that we're walking to.
That's correct. The actual Susan B. ballot box, we call it kind of the Susan B. Garden, is right out here with her inlaid brass marker.
This is federal property?
This is federal property. It's obviously a very cherished artifact of America and women's rights.
You can see there's a whole display here honoring Susan B. Anthony, as we're just down the block from the Susan B. Anthony house. But Paul, this is the exact ballot box where she voted in 1872?
That's correct. This is the ballot box. And as you can see, the marker and all the insignias out here. A little early in the year, but really when the garden starts blooming and everything starts coming alive, it's a very pretty seat from the patio. A lot of people come out and sit down, enjoy a cup of coffee, and take some snapshots out here. Many people that go to the museum come over and visit after or before, and it's really a nice piece to have.
It's amazing that it's just out here on Main Street. As I'm still learning more about Rochester, I didn't grow up here, but to actually be next to this is really cool. It's kind of heavy. You can see there's like a whole glossing over it. And it is sealed up now with that heavy lock that's not being moved anytime soon. But that marker that Paul was mentioning is right over here. It says Susan B. Anthony voted here at a shop on this side on November 5th, 1872. Susan B. Anthony and 14 women from this neighborhood voted in the presidential election. And then it says 2 weeks later, Miss Anthony was arrested in the home on Madison Street for this illegal action. Women struggled for 48 more years before the ratification of the 19th Amendment, making it legal for women to vote. That just passed 100 years. Susan B. Anthony would have been 201 this year, so we honor her. We cheers to her with coffee as we continue to honor women. Cheers to her with all the different drinks that of women who are still leading in their society. Betty White, Maya Rudolph, one of them right here with the coffee. But Alexis and Chris, how cool is this?
I actually didn't even know that was there.
Yeah,
which
we
is
were just
awesome.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just walk by and see it.
By the way,
I thought he was talking about the ballot box. Also,
Yeah.
the drink looks amazing.
No,
How
no,
is it?
I was talking about the ballot
Okay,
box.
good.
I was talking about the ballot box, but this is great. This is sweet.
Yeah.
And Maya Rudolph, one of my favorite personalities
Yeah.
out there.
I feel like she's friends with Kristen Wiig, who's from Western New York, right?
From
So
Creighton. Yeah.
it's all full circle.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look at you. Also, we notice
Yeah.
you're out there showing off with no coat on.
You don't even need it, right?
That's nice. Michael making everybody's day outside along West Main Street.
March is Women's History Month, but for One Rochester Cafe, they celebrate women all year long. Michael Schwartz this morning live from 1872 Cafe on West Main Street. And Michael, I have to admit, I didn't know much about the cafe before this feature today, and I'm learning all kinds of things. Some really incredible history, as well as the food and the drinks. They look so good.
Yeah, check it all out. I recently learned about 1872 Cafe, and I said, I gotta tell the world about 1872 Cafe. Hey, Chris, talking about women on this day, today is Aretha Franklin's birthday, Sarah Jessica Parker, and my man Paul. It's his birthday today, the owner of 1872 Cafe. We had birthday shout-outs hours ago, but Paul, happy, healthy birthday. Cheers to you, my friend. An avid coffee drinker. How many cups of coffee you have a day?
Probably about 2.5 large.
2.5. My favorite drink, Chris, you're gonna like this. And I think Alexis does like cinnamon too, if I remember from when we got coffee when we used to be all together. I'm reminiscing on the times, the memories before COVID-19. The Eleanor Roosevelt. This is my favorite drink here. What goes into it?
Eleanor Roosevelt gets 2 shots of espresso. And then she gets vanilla and cinnamon flavored on top of her milk on top of her espresso. and then just a little bit of sweetness, but the cinnamon gives it a definite nice piece. A lot of people like a little extra cinnamon on top, but I know this is Michael's favorite drink when he comes in, and it's something that of our drinks, it's probably the most popular.
What's the pink tint?
The pink is the cinnamon.
Is the cinnamon. Okay, so it turns a little pink.
It turns a little bit pink.
Cheers to Eleanor. We went all throughout the history today. We did Eleanor Roosevelt, Betty White, Ella Fitzgerald, Maya Rudolph, and this now, cheersing to this. I gotta take a taste test. Yeah, that's great. Chris, you mentioned the food. They have a lot to offer here, from the Freddie D sandwich, because you gotta honor Freddie D if you're going back in history, to the baked goods, and then I skipped over the croissant, which honors Susan B. Anthony. And this location, as we showed you, has the ballot box where she voted illegally in 1872, hence 1872 Cafe. And the artwork is amazing. The 19th Amendment, now 100 years, the 19th Amendment, celebrating women, celebrating an icon like Susan B. Anthony. And there's so many. There's a name wall as well from Susan B. Anthony's on there, Abby Wambach, George O'Keeffe, of course, Harriet Tubman. Who is one figure that stands out to you? I mean, is Susan B. Anthony the go-to?
Yeah, for the namesake, obviously, and the location, but you know, Rosa Parks is a big one as well. And if you look at we have a vegan sandwich, which is a Good Day Rosa in honor of Good Day and Good Day Rosa. It's a vegan sandwich that we sell here, very popular. And when we bought the cafe, we had to adapt, vegan, gluten-free, and we try to have a little bit for everybody. So the Rosa Parks kind of stands out to me as one that being, you know, at my age, obviously today being a marker for that, you know, I kind of remember growing up through the years of the history.
It's important we honor these women. And you know what's really cool? It's interesting talking to some customers and drinking your coffee and researching who some of these women are. I mean, some are bigger names than others, but drinking your coffee and learning about them. So an educational experience. I got the Ellen DeGeneres socks on right now, actually, to honor women. But maybe we need some Susan B. Anthony socks as well. Hey, those customers come here, by the way, every Thursday?
Every Thursday, like clockwork.
Had to mention that because I think that's so cool.
Absolutely.
Good
and there's
friends.
numerous people, and they've been friends for years. They meet here every Thursday. They chat over their coffee, and then they buy coffee for the road to grind it home. So
good friends. You know what? I gotta ask them what's their favorite. Excuse me. We were speaking before. What's your favorite coffee here?
I like a dark roast.
Dark roast?
Yeah, the bold one that they have.
You guys been coming here for a while?
Yeah, I think since
7
it opened.
years.
This is your spot.
This is
Yes.
it.
We're not going to touch it. I'm not. You claim this seat. We were here earlier, but this is your spot.
Actually, yes, and a friend of mine took a photo of this spot. He's actually a professional photographer,
Love
Richard
that.
Margolis, but it's in my living room because this spot is very important to me.
Very cool. Well, cheers to you this morning. I'm glad you could be here, friends, having coffee, honoring women, Women's History Month, but honoring women every single day here. I got to say, Paul, some of my favorite women, besides the ones back in studio, that maybe we could even look into. I had the privilege to work with Joan Rivers before she passed. Incredible, incredible person. And I've worked with Whoopi Goldberg before. Those two, I think, are some of my favorite icons. Anyone else that stands out to you?
Well, I know the two young ladies that you work with that are on the desk today are very popular. I watch them in the morning before I come in here. I know you started painting them up on the wall, so
I was going to add their name.
We'll have to make some room up there for them.
We'll have to make some room up there. Well, Paul, May, his wife, thank you for an amazing morning. Happy birthday. Chris, Alexis, what would be your drink? What ingredients would you have in yours?
Well, it's just me, and I really liked that chocolate hazelnut one. That one looked really good to me.
Yeah.
Is that the one in your hand right now?
The Maya Rudolph.
Yeah, the Maya Rudolph.
It's that one.
Oh, yeah, that looks good. I wouldn't drink after you, but, you know, go get my own maybe later today. Also, tell Paul happy birthday from us and tell him thank you so much for watching us, Michael. We always appreciate that.
Will do. I
All
will
right.
do. Hey, thank you for watching and happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. All right, the wind could be a problem tomorrow. Unfortunately, Marty's going to keep an eye on it. He'll have an update with your full forecast. That is coming up next.